So as we all know, right now, prescription costs are through the roof. You have specialty medications that cost a couple of hundreds to thousands of dollars. And then you also have deductibles and premiums and all these things that are going into play. And so when someone has limited income, they are able to apply for LIS, extra help. And what that does, it lowers their prescription cost to very low, to like $1 and change up to $12 and change. And then it also pays their deductible. They don't have to pay a deductible for their prescriptions. And then the other thing too is that it also covers the plan's premium up to the state's benchmark. In 2025, the state benchmark for Arizona is $30.10. So what that means is that, let's say a plan has a premium of, let's say, $40 or $50, and the individual is enrolled in LIS, then that person is only going to pay the difference. They're not going to pay the full 40 or 50. They're only going to pay, $10 or $20 because that will cover up to that benchmark. Okay. Now, a lot of folks, they're not aware if they're eligible for LIS, especially when you're talking to them. So a lot of agents don't ask these questions. They figure the income is personal. I don't want to ask anyone what their income is. And then you have another agent that says, I want to do a proper needs analysis. I want to understand what I can help them with. And a lot of agents will ask them what the income is, how much you're getting each month. If you're meeting with someone, it's important to know what their income is because they can be eligible for other programs that can help them in the long run. And more importantly, you're doing a proper needs analysis. You're doing a service to help them understand, I'm putting you in this plan because it will help you save money in the long run. Now, in 2025, the LIS eligibility is $19.76 for an individual, and then a couple is $26.64. Now, there's also what's known as $20 income disregard, so a person can make up to an extra $20 if they want. Or, if their income is over $20, they're able to apply that. If their income is, say, for example, their income is, let's say, $19.86, you can add a $20 income disregard, and that person would be eligible for that program. And if they're a couple, they both have to be married and on Medicare. So if you have a couple and one of them's on Medicare and the other is not, then, they will look at that income of the single person. In this case, it would be the person that's on Medicare. So individuals normally that were enrolled in LIS, they could change every single quarter. But now they're able to change every single month. But the difference is they can only enroll into a standalone prescription drug plan. They can't change to a Medicare Advantage plan. Only way that they could change a Medicare Advantage plan if they have an SEP, a special enrollment period. It means that they've gained or lost or changed to Medicaid eligibility, or a change to LIS eligibility, or notification of a change, whichever is later. And then the beneficiary also has 3 months after notification of a CMS or state-initiated enrollment action, effective date, or whichever is later. So let's say, for example, someone loses their Medicaid eligibility and they are kicked off with a dual special needs plan, they're automatically going to be enrolled into a standalone prescription drug plan. If that happens, let's say the plan becomes effective on May 1st, then that person will have up to August 1st to make a selection. You would use this SEP. I was enrolled in a plan, and you got to put the date of when that happened. You could create an SEP. That's a little more technical, but if you guys have questions about a situation where you want to identify if a person has an SEP, just reach out and we'll be able to help you do that process. Now, in 2025, what's changing for those individuals that are HIDE? Under the dual special needs umbrella, there's two classifications. One is HIDE, highly integrated dual eligible, and the second one is FIDE, fully integrated dual eligible. So HIDE means anyone that is eligible for Medicaid or access and Medicare. And then FIDE is anyone who's eligible for long-term care and Medicare as well. So individuals that are enrolled in Medicaid, in years past, they were able to change to a plan every single quarter, once every single quarter. But now they're able to change to a plan every single month. Now, these beneficiaries can only enroll into a D-SNP plan. They cannot enroll into a Medicare Advantage plan. They cannot enroll into a chronic special. They technically could enroll into a chronic special needs plan once if they have a chronic need. However, it would be a disservice because they would have complications with receiving care. Now, in Arizona, plan and misalignment is allowed for beneficiaries that are enrolled in the dual special needs plan. So dual eligible beneficiaries can be enrolled into a DSNP. They will not lose their access benefits if their DSNP and access benefits are misaligned. So if you have someone that's enrolled into our in our D-SNP plan and their Medicaid plan is with another carrier, they're not going to lose their Medicaid status. They're not going to be impacted, nor are we going to disenroll them if they're enrolled into a competitor Medicaid plan. And vice versa. If they're enrolled into our Medicaid plan and they're enrolled into a dual special needs plan with the competitor, they're not going to lose their Medicaid benefits. The only way they're going to lose their Medicaid benefits if they're no longer eligible for the plan. Does that make sense for you guys? Okay. Because a lot of folks are confused. I mean, we have beneficiaries that are getting called and they're being told, if you don't enroll into this particular plan, you're going to lose your Medicaid benefits, and you don't want that. That's not the truth. Okay. Beneficiaries can change their access plan every single year. It's not like the regular Medicare general. It's not like the Medicare annual enrollment period. So where people are able to make changes October 1st, 15th to December 7th. It's not like that. Every single individual has an annual enrollment choice. So all of us here in this room, if we all were enrolled in Medicaid, not one person would be, we don't have to make a change in October, November, or December, or January. Every single person has a different annual enrollment choice. Some will be January, some will be February, some will be April, some will be May.